Okay, people. I mean, okay, mostly other men on the internet, but I guess I'll be intersectional about it. The movie Twilight, that was 12 years ago. The last movie in the series was 8 years ago. It's pretty much been a decade, and the world has moved on. And a lot of other things have happened in that pretty much a decade. But one thing that did not happen, your circa 2008 to 2013 jokes about the Twilight movies have not gotten funnier. Nope, not a single one. Especially not the ones that were never actually your joke, but rather jokes, lines, references, callbacks, nicknames, memes, riffs, and other routines memorized from riff tracks or my show or other shows from the internet. And what that means is that when you, again, a decade later, notice that an actor from Twilight, yes, including the two you're thinking of, are in a new movie, you don't have to perform shitty, decade-old, unfunny Twilight material about your received opinions of their abilities as actors or lack thereof. And not only because another thing that happened in that intervening decade was Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson both taking a Twilight-funded break from mainstream Hollywood to instead reaffirm their standing as in fact two of the more dynamic and interesting actors of their generation by appearing in mutual strings of challenging, intriguing, independent and art house films by some of the world's most respected filmmakers. So yes, Kristen Stewart is in today's movie, and no, I'm not going to be doing any tired-ass material about her being a bad actress or having no affect or looking down or whatever, because that's not like a thing anymore. Hasn't been for a while. And also, we probably all took the Twilight hate way overboard back when, and I don't feel good about it anymore. You know, introspection. Practice some of it. Because I don't want to be having this conversation again when that fucking Batman movie comes out. Okay? Holy shit, this is pretty good! I mean, I know it doesn't matter because no one's gonna go see a bottom-of-the-ocean thriller in early January, and it's clearly a dump title that the studio didn't know what the hell to do with because it was actually shot like 2 or 3 years ago and it's been sitting on a shelf, and that's why TJ Miller's here. Yeah, in case you were thinking, wait, didn't we stop letting him be in things? Yeah, we did, but this was made a while ago. But you know, as inexplicably well-cast, generally better directed and shot B movies go, this actually really damn solid stuff with very little to complain about within the context of reasonable expectations. And in fact, all that time in the vault probably helped it a little. It definitely feels like someone who's picking at the editing all this time, trying to shave down a longer cut movie to the point where we finally got just a lean, tight, zero-fat, 90-minute genre picture where the immediate action and plot immediately begin. The characters are introduced through behavior and interaction as they proceed from one goal to the next, and it does not stop until it's time to end, and then it just ends. Yeah, what do you know? A movie. Hey, how about that? Basic competency. How I've missed you. The setup here? Very simple. It's the nearish future. A bunch of scientists and engineers are in a high-tech underwater drilling facility at the literal bottom of the ocean. The Marianas Trench, technically, when an earthquake messes all their shit up and they can't stay because all the ocean is gonna pour in and crush and drown them. There's only a handful of survivors, including Kristen Stewart and the Sigourney Weaver from Alien role, Vincent Cassel and the George Clooney from Gravity role, and a handful of other people whose character types you'll also recognize from other better movies. And the only hope for anyone to survive is for them to put on their pressurized diving suits and literally walk from their wrecked up deep sea station to a second non-wrecked up deep sea station about a mile or so away, which is a long ass walk when you're at the bottom of the goddamn ocean. Oh, and there's also no light down there, so you can't see more than a couple feet in front of your face. Oh, and also they don't have a ton of oxygen or spare gear, so they can't make many mistakes. Oh, and yeah, it turns out that earthquake wasn't an earthquake, it was a sea monster, or possibly a bunch of sea monsters. Again, it's kind of hard to tell because you can't see shit until it's right up in front of your face because you're at the bottom of the goddamn ocean. I mean, that's a pretty intense setup right there. You'd have to try to make that at least not a little bit interesting and scary, and they don't try to do that. They make it interesting and scary. They can't see the monster, it can't see them, they can't run, the monster can swim in any direction. Cassell and Stewart are both, at this point, lifetime pros at having a good time in silly movies without giving away that they know they're in a silly movie, and the mechanics of it basically work. The production design here is solid, the actors carry themselves and each other admirably, the creatures are cool looking and escalate nicely, the long game build and reveal for what we're actually dealing with is one one of the better executions thereof I've seen in a while in one of these. With lean, solid thrillers, of course, come lean, solid recommendations. There really isn't anything wrong with Underwater, but there also isn't much going on in it either. It's what they used to call a programmer if you're in want of something action-ish in the vein of Alien. This is gonna basically fit the bill, and if it's not 100% satisfactory, it's only 90 minutes, and it's not like you're gonna waste a huge chunk of time in the evening. It's not the kind of thing that's built to become anyone's favorite movie, although if you've got a huge crush on Kristen Stewart, you're probably gonna enjoy the hell out of Act 3, where she kind of slips into James Cameron heroine mode. But this is definitely the kind of thing where I'm glad to say, hey, for one of these, 7 out of 10, not bad.